And like many of you in this room, I'm a teacher. I see students every day. It keeps it nice and real. And here's Chloe, and this is Ella. And they're not necessarily wanting to go to university, but these girls love celebrating their achievement. They produced amazing project booklets on the Global Citizenship course we piloted with the British Council. I really urge you to look at these type of resources online. This doesn't have to cost a lot of money. This needs some good willpower and some good champions around the world. And I would really recommend on YouTube, look at the TED talk by Derek Sivers on how to start a movement. It's only 15 minutes, but we need more zany people to create movements, but it's actually the followers we need to sustain this. And I think this is what's happening in our Deeper Learning conference series right now in Asia. I kind of like collecting school mottos. Some of them are pretty abysmal, to be frank, especially in the UK. I won't mention any schools, but they tend to always be about exams or, you know, this was in Thailand in the school I worked with. That was the school motto: no happiness surpasses peace of mind. I think well-being is so important. If our students are to succeed and achieve, their well-being and them being happy and involved in their education, having an investment in it, and that's what global citizenship means, is important. You probably hear some of my students outside now as it's lunchtime. Again, we're keeping this very real. Another one I liked recently in East London, I think there were about 60 nationalities in a school in East London I visited in the summer, and it basically said, we'll take your dreams and we'll turn them into your futures. Okay, that's a big claim, but isn't that aspirational, and isn't that what global citizenship also does for people? Nelson Mandela said education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. I think all countries are very aware of the investment they have to put into their education systems. That's why we're here right now. The policymakers at this conference know that only too well, and you know that as educators too. I always like the Chinese proverb that if you're planning for a year, sow rice. If you're planning for a decade, plant trees. But if you're planning for a lifetime, educate people. That's why we're in this conference. That's why you're in this room. These are the debates and discussions you need to have about global citizenship, about creative thinking, about deeper learning. Use the people here from Microsoft, British Council, your own school boards, your Ministry of Education. Let's get this conversation into more of a reality in the classroom for our learners and for our colleagues. I've got a personal interest in this too. I'm not speaking from an abstract point of view here. These are my three children. This is Annie, just coming up to the age of 4. This is Evie, who's just come up to the age of 6. This is Gwen, who's come up to 2 in January. They're my future global citizens, so I know I've got a vested interest in this because I know that in their schools, in their preschool and in the main school for Evie, that they are also speaking languages, they're doing international projects, they're using technologies. And this was Gwyn, the South African head in the summer. He and I was trying a very serious conversation about anti-apartheid, and they bombarded him with his dollies and asked him about Afrikaans, and that's global citizenship. They're at their grandfather's in France, in an old ruined abbey. They use their French, or their French was certainly better than mine. That's global citizenship. We all have a personal vested interest in this with our students, with our families, with our communities and our nations. I wish you a really, really good conference. I hope the dialogue is very good in the room, and I hope there's lots of questions. You have my email address. I'm happy to sort of Skype, people can do that. I'm happy to talk about the work here, maybe even see some of you here. Have a really excellent conference and make sure your students are global citizens. Thank you. Diolch yn fawr.